Hey everyone, I'm really excited about today's conversation. I'm sitting down with the money making juggernaut,
Yep,
Eric Richardson himself. How's it going today, man?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing well.
Good, good.
For those who are unfamiliar with Eric, he is an entrepreneur, mentor, and leading expert in the surplus funds industry. Today we're going to be talking about his journey that has been kind of built on locking in and
Yep,
taking action, right?
exactly. That's the motto I live by.
Yep. Words spoken by Eric often. If you follow his content on YouTube, you'll hear those words quite a bit. Um, Also involves creating the right mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and Eric openly talks about God and his
Yes.
faith. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for being here today, Eric.
Yes, sir. It's been great. I'm up here in North Carolina, guys. Been working with Pat, talking about surplus funds, but then it extended beyond that. Not just surplus funds. We started talking about life, mindset, God, everything. And he wanted to do an interview, so here we are. Let's do it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you letting me do this. Helping you create content. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
flying in, helping me set up my systems.
Yes, sir.
I'm a real estate agent myself, so
Mm-hmm.
Eric's been a huge inspiration, and surplus funds has just been an additional tool to my tool belt in the real estate industry.
Yeah.
Um,
And he's not just one of those real estate agents that just say, "Oh, I got the license." He sold over 100 homes. He got the award somewhere. I saw.
it's right there.
Yep.
Word right there. 100 homes given by the company I'm with.
Yep.
Been in the industry for about 7 years, and I've sold 100 homes in the past 4.5 years. So,
Actively doing it. Yep.
yep. Just living by what Eric says, locking in, taking
Mm-hmm.
action. That's what it's about.
Exactly.
Before we get started, do you have anything you want to add? Let the viewers and the audience know.
Well, for the viewers right now, Pat, he paid for my time to come out here in North Carolina, set up his business. We actually got one signed agreement for him,
Yep.
so things are working out. I'm just showing him the ropes and surplus funds, what it takes, performing due diligence, communicating with clients, and when you guys, if you choose to get this service, I'm gonna pour into you. So we've been meeting, talking, making sure he understands everything, and he's been closing deals.
Yep. 5 leads this week.
Mm-hmm.
One signed. Got a phone call tomorrow. So
Yep, might be two.
might be two.
Yeah.
So just it is a testament to what he teaches, what he
Mm-hmm.
practices, and the systems he's put in place, not only for his personal business, but for his students as well.
Yeah.
I will say I've bought courses in the past, like I've
Mm-hmm.
said mentioned to you. Probably one of the best courses I've ever taken, if
Hey,
not the best,
hey, that's good.
and very affordable.
Yeah. So what
So
stood out about the course that made it better than other ones that you've taken previously?
I would say the structure
Mm-hmm.
and the amount of detail.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's over
it's
200
yeah.
lessons,
So
isn't
I mean, it's
it?
well organized. It's
Yeah.
not scrambled. It's
Yeah.
from point A to point Z.
Mm-hmm.
Well thought out, well put together. Templates,
Yeah.
scripts,
Videos.
resources,
Yeah.
videos, and the videos really do go into depth on how to use the systems, how to
Mm-hmm.
go search for surplus funds on the county pages.
Yeah.
It's just well put together compared to other wholesaling,
Courses that
courses
you've
I've,
taken.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I will say, well worth the price if you guys are looking to add something to your tool belt or start a side business. Definitely
Mm-hmm.
look into his courses. They can be found on moneymakingjuggernaut.com.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. So I won't take up too much of your time. Just wanted, to give your viewers just a little bit about your journey,
Yeah.
how far you've come, why you chose surplus, what really drives you, and the mindset behind it, and your faith.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share with us what initially drove you into the surplus
Into
industry?
surplus funds. Yeah. So I graduated college in 2017 from Ave Maria University, this small college in Naples, Florida. I played college basketball. I played pro as well. But when I graduated from college, um, the year before my senior year, I got into a car accident and I tore a labrum in my shoulder. And I thought that I was going to be kind of done playing, and I was looking into coaching. I was going to go to Singapore to be a coach there. But then I got healed and I realized, hey, I can still play.
Yeah.
But I was always interested in like real estate, entrepreneurship, and a buddy of mine in college, that's like my senior year when I didn't play. because I actually graduated early.
Okay.
So that semester was just straight entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I was trying out many things. I tried a clothing brand. We looked into Airbnb. I was doing wholesaling, all this stuff. And I would always communicate with my stepdad because he was interested in entrepreneurship too.
Totally.
And one day he sent me a video of a guy talking about surplus funds, and he was like, "Man, there's money, like just money there.
Yeah.
All you have to do is help the people get the money, and you can make a commission."
Totally.
So I watched the training. It was like a 40-minute long video, and I'm like, "Hey, this is in line with what I already do with wholesaling. I know how to skip trace. I know how to talk to people. I know how to prepare documents. Like, let me see if this is legit."
Yeah.
And I'm from Fort Myers, so I looked up Lee County surplus funds. Quick Google search, it popped up. Lee County not only had the list, they had the claim form, and they had the claim instructions. So I'm like, everything is there.
Totally.
Like, this guy was talking about surplus funds, and it's literally there. Like, this stuff is hiding in plain sight. There's unclaimed funds everywhere. So I did that, and this is, like, when I first learned about it, I had free time because I was playing basketball in Finland.
Yeah.
So we set up an Airbnb out there. I was doing wholesaling. I was playing basketball. I was doing all of that. And then I realized that like playing basketball over there wasn't going to bring me enough money to satisfy myself. I just went to play basketball there to fulfill like my basketball dreams.
Yeah.
Once I knew about surplus funds and that, you know, I had to do more to make more money and live the life, I moved back. I got a security job from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I did Uber, I did DoorDash, I did dog walking, I did all this stuff to make money. But at the same time, I was still learning like about surplus funds, about I set up another Airbnb in Florida. I had one in Finland, one in Florida, still doing wholesaling. So then I got my financial advising job. While I'm at work, I'm still like searching for leads, contacting leads. I started closing. I started to work the surrounding counties, Sarasota County, Collier County, even driving to the east side of Florida, going to Miami, Palm Beach, all that, start closing deals. And I realized like, hey, this is life-changing.
Totally.
Got my mom involved. She started closing deals. And then I realized that this doesn't just happen in Florida, it happens everywhere.
Totally.
So then I took the time to start learning other states. And then I just realized that the industry is so like, it's like kept a secret.
Yeah.
The people who knew about it, they didn't want to
open the
release
doors
it to the public. And I noticed that their pricing, so they kept everything on hush. They would make videos briefly talking about it, kind of explaining what surplus funds is, but not really showing people how to do it.
Totally.
So I made a YouTube video kind of like opening up the floodgates.
Yeah.
A dude did a reaction video, JT Hustles, shout out to JT. And that kickstarted, he's actually in North Carolina too.
Okay.
That kickstarted the following.
Yeah.
The views started going up, and I was like, hey, I have to be consistent with this. I have to keep coming out with content.
Yeah.
Because the industry needs it.
Yeah.
There's like I saw my competition, and I was like, hey, these guys are not like me.
Yeah.
They're not gonna care. They're not gonna make the content.
Yep.
So I was like, I gotta dedicate to this.
Was it just like a light that went off? Like, hey, I can do this. I can teach, quote unquote. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have that mindset that you could outperform the people that were already doing the industry?
Well, from the teaching point, like I feel like God has always put me in a leadership role.
Totally.
Like even from basketball, like I've always been team captain. My coach even had me like putting the team through drills. Like I was almost like a coach as well. So I knew how to talk to people, and I had that background of, you know, like discipline and like how you were saying the course is well structured.
Totally.
I know what people need because I think of, hey, what do I need?
Totally.
So I just try to give people, you know, exactly what's out there. And then of course, you know, I've taken other programs, so I'll learn. Like for example, wholesaling. When I learned wholesaling, I'm like, okay, this is what was missing. Let me make sure that when I make my product, that's not missing. I want to give people what they need, and the course is always updating.
Yeah.
Like there's over 215 lessons. It's always updating.
And I will say you're very involved with your students and your community. And that right there, like I'm personally just grateful for. Again, just joining other communities and other courses.
Yeah.
The amount of access you give
sometimes
to your students is probably too much for what you charge. You could probably charge a little bit more, but you know, that didn't come from me. But you know, it sounds like you were successful before surplus funds.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to college, you're playing professional ball, you have these Airbnbs, you're wholesaling.
Yeah.
What made you choose surplus funds when you had the degree and a financial position
Yeah.
where you could make six figures,
Yeah.
and you had the assets to make, you know, mailbox money for say?
Yeah.
Why'd you decide to devote your life to surplus funds?
And that I've literally devoted my life to
Yeah,
surplus funds, like the meetings, the studying, the relationships with attorneys, all of that. Just because I saw that it was a blue ocean, I knew like all the other industries, they already have their industry leaders.
totally.
And I wanted to become the industry leader. That's why I say I'm the number one educator in surplus funds. Like when I started saying that, my thought process behind it was I'm gonna say that and address it every single video,
Totally.
so that not only do I have conviction for it, but that the viewers will know, like, hey, he's the guy. He's the number one educator.
Yep.
And like you're saying, caring about the students. That's why I'm always posting student testimonials, because I think like as a coach, you're judged off of how your students perform.
Yeah.
Because I know surplus funds all day,
Yeah.
but how is that going to help the next person?
Totally.
So for the viewers watching, you guys got to go watch the success stories and like see, because they're literally saying like, hey, I did this, I did that. They're showing the tricks of the trade. In all honesty, they're just following the program.
Totally. Now, I will say, I mean, me and Eric had this conversation earlier in the week. He's had students, or not really students, but viewers and audience members, go check out his content on YouTube and close the deals just from the content that you provide on YouTube.
Content, just free videos.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that alone, you know, they're not spending any money. You're giving it out for free.
Yeah.
And that just speaks to your ability to not only knowing the industry, but also being able to break it down where somebody can go to YouTube University and just learn it and do it.
Yeah. Because I mean, I was self-taught with wholesaling.
Yeah.
It was just YouTube University, finding documents, finding the certain industry leaders that would give out like contracts and stuff. So then I pieced it together, and then boom, that's how it was. Surplus funds, self-taught.
Yep.
Like I didn't take anybody's course. Like I learned from that video, and then I went applied. And once I started figuring things out, I just put together a nice training for it.
Totally. Can you touch on some of the challenges you faced early or still face today that have shaped and built the foundation of your success in your business?
So first we'll talk about challenges with surplus funds, then we'll talk about like business challenges.
Totally.
So when I first started surplus funds, think about this, much younger, not as much wisdom, not as much tolerance and patience.
Totally.
And when I first got into it, I used to get so pissed off that these people thought it was a scam.
Totally.
And were literally rejecting money. I would say, hey, if Jesus knocked on their door with a bag of money, they'll slam the door in their face.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, yo, this money is real. Like, what do you think? Like, so I used to get frustrated. I used to get so upset. But now I understand the psychology behind it. So I started working on how I structured my messages, how I texted them, how I called them, how I left voicemails, how I emailed them, things that I put. Because what I share with you guys, I tell them I do this too. The intro email format, break down a foreclosure, attach the state statute, be transparent.
Yep.
From my knowledge, I'm one of the only instructors that teaches to be transparent.
Yeah.
Other instructors say kind of like don't give them too much because maybe they can go file on their own.
Totally.
Like that's everybody's biggest fear, but it doesn't really happen.
Totally.
Because they don't, it's still a whole process that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
Same thing with like filing taxes.
Yeah.
Yes, there are a handful of counties where it's as simple as signing a form and they can get paid.
Yeah.
In scenarios where you need an attorney and you have to do that, it's a complicated process.
Totally.
So I would say that was the main struggle at the beginning, was getting over that hurdle of dealing with them thinking that it's a scam.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm always reading books. I'm always I actually watched a training. It was called The Power of Psychology.
Okay.
So I was learning about how to it was basically talking about persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Because in our business, we have to persuade them to allow us to file the claim. So I started watching that and understanding what they were doing, the certain tone that you have to deliver, and what you have to do to get somebody to actually be persuaded.
Totally.
So I started applying that, and then it just took off. So now with the model that I teach, like I no longer deal with, and the students who follow it deal with somebody thinking it's a scam.
Totally.
It's more of like, hey, what's your percentage? Maybe I'm receiving other offers, but it's no longer it's a scam.
Totally.
Like the one that you're working on
Yeah.
now. Like at first he was emailing like, how do I know this is
Yeah,
legit?
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
a scam.
You know.
And then you pour into him, you start talking to him about real estate,
Yep.
things that can show transparency. And now you guys got a call set up on Sunday.
Provided the link to my page, my reviews. So do you, in your personal opinion, I know you teach it, and you live by it, does the transparency really with your clients and explaining it, being confident and being fully transparent, do you think that builds a lot of trust in that initial point of contact?
Yeah, absolutely. And trust is everything in this
Totally.
business. That's why females do very good in this, because their voices alone sounds trustworthy.
Yeah.
So like when you combine that with the proof, it's a recipe for success.
Totally. Who would you say surplus funds is for? Like,
So
do you need a license? Do you need a background degree to get into it? Like, who would you suggest surplus funds to?
Well, to be honest, surplus funds is for anybody, because in most scenarios, no license, no degree, no prior experience.
Yeah.
So I would say you just have to be somebody that's gonna be ready for what's in store.
Yep.
I say it's the greatest industry, because we're just helping people file funds that they already have available for them. We're not signing them up for any products that they shouldn't have. We're not getting them any contract that they can't get out of. I'm just trying to help you get this money that's already there and not get paid for my services. But at the same time, this is not a get rich quick scheme. It takes time to get paid. We have to go through proper channels, processes. It's a numbers game. You're not working with confirmed people. You got to go find these people. You might do.
So you're cold calling,
texting,
reach out,
emailing, doing everything that you can, investigating. So some people aren't ready for that. They see the glamour, they see the big checks, but they don't understand that there's a lot that goes into it. You have to do your research. You have to consistently market, and once you figure it out, then it'll become simple. But a lot of people try to run from the work.
Totally. And I mean, that's true. I mean, you see it, I see it in the real estate industry. I got into the real estate industry as a wholesaler. Everybody and their sister does wholesaling, but it is a numbers game. And a lot of people don't like to, excuse my language, be told to fuck off when you're making a cold call. So, it's having that right mindset, that right approach, and being able to overcome the internal feelings of being rejected, because as humans, we don't like rejection.
We have fear. Fear of rejection, absolutely.
Now that you've established yourself in this field, what guiding principles and strategies have been most instrumental for maintaining the consistent growth in your business and your success?
So like right now, consistency on content is what I'm focused on. Every week coming out with YouTube videos, and most importantly, like the community aspect, doing the live calls every single week. And I'm always thinking of different tools and resources to help my community. Like I realize that majority of my viewers are older, so now we're coming out with that college style textbook for them so that they can that can tailor them. Also, just like you came from wholesaling and we had this conversation, how people in the wholesaling background are going to be exceptional at this business. They already know skip tracing. They already know it's a numbers game. They're not afraid to dial. They know about contracts, negotiating. So wholesalers, they're probably already familiar with a CRM, are going to be able to dominate and excel in surplus funds a lot faster, because they already have the tangibles. They already know the skills and fundamentals of this type of industry. So that's what I'm focused on, tailoring. Like, how can I tailor my training to meet my students' capabilities?
And no, I think you hit it right on the head. Coming from a background of wholesaling and real estate has really helped me. I mean, just this week, just started implementing the systems, the website, and making those calls. Having that background has really helped me overcome, and being familiar with the rejections or the being told to fuck off. So and that understanding that I have to make 100 calls before I get, 1 or 2 good leads, and then one of those 2 leads might convert, right? like you said, it is a numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
With that, being rejected, being able to put in the work, cold call,
Mm-hmm.
what key mindsets did you have to make earlier in the journey to position yourself um, for this lasting success that you've
Well, I've
developed?
always been hungry. Like when I
Yeah,
say I'm hungry, I'm starving for success. Like to the point where like I'm saying I need it.
yeah,
So I know like okay, if this is what I want to do, and I always structure what I have to do. Like I don't say, oh, I want to be a millionaire, or like when I first started, it was 100,000.
yeah,
I didn't say, oh, I want to make 100,000. I devised an actual plan, and I did what I had to do, and it happened. Because my grandfather always told me this. He said life is like a roadmap. So as long as you follow the map, you're gonna get to your destination. But a
totally,
lot of people they don't have a GPS. They
totally,
don't know. They don't have turn by turn
yeah,
instructions. They're freestyling every day.
totally,
So when I first started like in business, I always knew okay, these are the non-negotiables. You
yeah,
have to get this done because you said you wanted to be great,
yeah.
and I hold myself accountable.
Totally. And it really just seems like you've developed that mindset. You
Mm-hmm.
used your past,
Yep.
your upbringing, your competitive nature in sports,
Yep.
being a leader,
Mm-hmm.
being competitive, has really just led you to be the number one, educator in surplus funds.
Yep.
Have there been any obstacles or moments of uncertainty where mental frameworks or practices have helped you stay focused and resilient?
Yeah, absolutely. So uncertainty always is gonna try to creep in there.
Totally. Yep.
But I'm big on faith. My
Yeah.
motto is faith and hard work is undefeated.
Yeah.
So in moments where,
Wait. Can,
things
can you say that one more time? I like that. What was
yeah,
that?
faith and hard work is undefeated.
Faith and hard work is undefeated. I
Yeah,
like that.
the motto because if you're working hard and you got God on your side,
Yeah.
how could you lose?
Totally.
It's literally impossible.
Totally.
So there's people out there who have all the faith in the world,
Yeah.
but there's no work.
Yep.
Or there's people who are working hard,
But
but
there's
then
no
they don't
faith.
have faith,
Yep.
and then they wonder why they have that null void.
Totally.
There's something missing from their life. So to speak on that question, when uncertainty creeps in and things like that, I just have to regroup because there might be times where you're like, dang, what am I gonna do? Like
Totally.
this is, or maybe it's not going the way you wanted to.
Yeah.
You just lock in with God. You
Yeah.
lock in on your planning, executing, because a lot of people don't understand this. Like God isn't like some mythical creature. Like He's literally living inside of you. He's
Totally.
a living God, and He's in you. So if He created us in His image, that means that we're godly.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that.
Totally.
So I know that's why I'm able to produce at a high level, because I know that if God made me in His image, I'm godly too.
Totally. And with that, if you're
Yeah.
not chasing your greatness and living
Mhm.
your full potential,
Yep.
then you're kind of doing a disservice to
You're
disrespecting God, because He planted that seed within
Yeah.
your head.
You're capable
We're
so
capable.
much.
We're kings. We're queens,
Yeah.
and He has just a
Purpose.
direction and
Yeah.
a purpose for us.
Mhm.
And you've really executed on
Yeah.
that, and it's led you to not only monetary success but spiritual success,
Yes.
personal success, whatever that may
Yeah.
mean to you. But
Mhm.
where you're at in life,
Yeah.
as I look at you, or as society looks at you, you're the definition of success.
Yeah.
Success does have many meanings to each
For
individual,
sure.
but the wealth, the business, the relationship, so you are the definition of success in many people.
Yeah, that's what I talk about from a holistic approach on my other channel, the Money Making Motivator. You have to be you want to be the greatest version of yourself, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, everything goes into it. Like
Totally.
we talked about you hopping back on the fitness journey.
Yeah.
When you were locked in, you made more money.
Yep.
And because it's a byproduct of that.
Yeah.
So if you're in shape, you're confident, you're on point, you got more blood circulation to your brain, you're thinking clear, you're gonna make more money.
Yeah.
You're in tune with God.
Yeah.
All of that stuff is gonna work because your body's your temple. God is dwelling inside you. You got a nice place for Him to dwell.
Yes,
Your mindset is on point. He's there with you. Now you got I call it being in aligned with God's blessings, His favor, His prosperity. Because a lot of people will pray for miracles,
Yeah.
but you're not in line with it. You got to
Totally.
give God something
Totally.
so He can work with you.
Yep.
And if you're constantly focused on becoming that greatest version of yourself, you're going to start seeing doors open. But also, and we talked about this earlier, praying for the right things.
Totally.
So like I pray for execution at the highest ability.
Okay.
I pray that God opens up opportunities that I never thought that I would dream of. Like so things that happen like even with the spa and then me being on the news and then like NBA players coming in, like these are all things. Or last year this company in Europe hired me to teach entrepreneurship, paid for me to go to Switzerland, teach entrepreneurship, all of that. Like these are things that I never thought would happen.
Totally.
So the stuff that I prayed for is happening.
Yeah.
I'm not praying for money. I'm not praying for material things.
Totally.
And it's going to work out.
So it sounds like the belief, the faith, you know, has been a real key trait for you.
Yeah.
But would you also say, you know, those aren't like their belief. They're not, you know, you can't really touch them.
Yeah.
You can't really see them.
Yeah.
You know, it's something within your subconscious being. So like you as a human, would you say the mind is your greatest tool to keep that faith and the belief?
Absolutely. Your mind is everything. And that's something that I just started realizing was that I can teach anybody how to make money. I can tell you, you know, how to make money doing this, doing that. Because I've done a lot of things. I've fixed and flipped homes. I've done Airbnb. I've done wholesaling, surplus funds, financial advising. Like I have over 30 streams of income. I can teach you all these different plays. But if your mind isn't there, nothing is going to work because the mind is the first thing. The body has to follow.
Yep.
So mindset is everything. And that's not just like mindset of learning something. It's mindset of like believing that you're capable of doing it, holding yourself accountable, being able to execute when you are tired, you know, when you are exhausted, when things aren't going good. That mindset, that mental fortitude to keep pushing is what's going to launch you to that next level.
Totally. And, you know, just kind of going off the success and what you just said, looking back, what pivotal decisions or habits have most directly contributed to your journey towards becoming a millionaire?
Yeah. So, like, I always knew that I was going to become a millionaire. My goal was always like, okay, become a millionaire before 30.
Okay.
And I hit it by 26, and I hit it very fast.
Yeah.
So, I would say, like, after college, that's when like life really started because now it's like, okay, you don't have to do things that you're forced to do. I don't have to go to class anymore. I don't have to go to practice. Now it's like you're on your own. Like now you're gonna shape the life. So I realized I'm like, hey, if I became a millionaire within like 2 to 3 years, how's life gonna be outside of that? Because I'm in control of it. So on the path there, of course you're gonna go through things. Like I went through all kind of stuff, especially with real estate. We got hit by a hurricane and it flooded 3 of my properties. And in those moments, it's like, dang, like this is tough. What's gonna happen? And then God always, He finds a way to work it out and bless it.
Totally.
But the mindset of, you know, wanting to hit that goal, once I hit it by 26, now I'm 30, I'm constantly thinking of a new level because there's always a new level. Like this summer I went to Italy and I went to the Amalfi Coast and there were literally billionaires there. I'm in the presence of them as well. They have their yachts pulled up and I'm just seeing like there's levels. Like people think that I'm on another level. I'm like, I'm still behind. And that mindset of me knowing that I'm behind keeps me pushing. Like I say, the faster you realize you're behind, the faster you can go faster. So if we look back at like the GPS model, if you hop in your car, you put in your destination, it's going to tell you how much time is left until you get there.
Yes, sir.
Which means you're behind.
Yeah.
So my end goal, I know what I want. I haven't hit it yet. I'm still behind. So I have to keep my foot on the gas until I get there. So that's why like every day I told you I'm writing down MEAs, money earning activities. I'm starving distractions. I'm locked in on what I need to do. I got too much to do. Like every single day I have something to do. Until I hit what I need to hit, which for me is I need 30 million plus. I need a nice mansion. I need a basketball court. I need a weight room. I need a pool house where my dad can stay, and just have my family. And then just make motivational content. Have all of my assets bringing in, revenue. And until I get that, I
Totally.
gotta keep it going.
Totally. And that's the end goal. That's the final
Mm-hmm.
image.
Yeah.
In your journey, when you set your goals,
Yeah.
you know, when you start approaching those goals, like say, becoming a millionaire, for
Mm-hmm.
instance, as you, once you knew you were going to achieve that,
Yeah.
does that particular goal stay there, or do you then change it to
Oh, it changes.
changes?
It's always gonna change.
Yeah,
That's why like goals for me, it's always a stepping stone to the next level,
totally.
and then you have to create that final. What's that final? What okay? What can really satisfy you? That's what I started thinking about,
Okay.
because I was like, okay, I'm making money. I love to travel. I've gone on trips, but when I make money, to be honest, like the biggest months that I've had, I've made like over 270K in 1 month
Yeah,
before. That feeling is temporary.
totally.
Like I'm like, ooh, numbers, because I don't have it in cash. Maybe if I had it in cash, it would feel different.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But when I see the numbers, it's like, okay, I still got stuff to do. Let's go
Totally.
work. But then I thought about like, okay, that end goal, what would make me satisfied? That's where like, okay, raising a family, having the mansion,
Yep.
having a pool with the pool house with my dad, the basketball court, I can train my son, the weight room, and I'm there making content. That would have me satisfied. So
Totally.
that's like a final goal where there isn't another stepping stone.
Totally.
So all the other ones, once I smash that goal, boom,
Yeah.
on to the next one.
Totally. And those moments leading up to that,
Yep.
you got to embrace them, you got to celebrate them,
Yep.
but you can't get too engulfed in them where
Yep.
you become stagnant and
Stagnant.
content.
Yeah.
It's like driving a new car.
Yep.
You get a new car for the first week, or you're like, oh hell yeah,
Yeah,
like I
exactly.
finally made it.
Yeah.
But then that car then just becomes a car, and you want
Just
the next
becomes a
thing,
car. We
right?
talked about that.
Yep.
That's why I rent, because
Yep.
it's like, hey, I can test out all these nice luxury cars.
Yeah.
You dream about that car forever, and then it's just something to get you from
Totally.
point A to point B.
Exactly. Exactly. How has achieving financial success influenced your perspective on wealth, responsibility, and personal fulfillment?
Well, I've always been responsible for not just myself, but a lot of people. So I got to take care of my mom, got to take care of my dad. Now I got all these employees that,
Totally.
Essentially I got to keep the business
Yeah, they
afloat,
rely on
because
you.
they rely on, doing the work to make
Yep.
money. So it comes with a great responsibility, and there's times where, I'm like, damn, I'm tired. But to be honest, it's a blessing to be tired, because at the
Totally.
same time, it's somebody who ain't doing shit
Totally.
that's in a terrible position. So I've always looked at it that way. And then having like finances and wealth, I feel like that's just like I talked about, the holistic approach, being the greatest in everything. It's just a byproduct.
Totally.
Like for me, I know as long as I do what I need to do in all those sectors, physically, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, everything's gonna work out.
Yep.
So I always just stay with those principles. Become the greatest version of yourself in all attributes. Don't allow, like, if imagine if I made money and then I wasn't locked in with God, I would lose everything.
Totally.
Or imagine if I made money and I wasn't working out, I wouldn't feel good.
Totally.
Or imagine if my mindset wasn't good, I would have money, I'd be lame as hell.
Yep.
So like
Yep.
I always try to make sure that you gotta stay sharp, and it's a constant effort every single day to become the greatest
Totally.
version of yourself, because the greatest, it's a next level.
Yep.
And I'm even now with all my stuff, I'm not the greatest version yet.
Yeah.
So I gotta keep going.
You're the greatest version of today, but not
Yeah.
what you're meant to be tomorrow.
Exactly.
With all this work that you've put in, all of the success that you've developed, having that end goal in mind, what is it that you want to get out of surplus funds? Is it like being able to hand it off to your kids, creating a legacy,
Yeah.
or what is it that really just fulfills you and why you do what you do,
Yeah.
and work probably more than a typical nine to five as
Yeah.
as an entrepreneur?
Exactly. So, well, surplus funds is like my favorite stream of income,
Yeah.
but it's definitely not the only. I have over 30.
Totally.
I own like so many other different companies. Surplus funds, I don't know if my child is going to do surplus funds, but I would want my products to still exist even when I pass away, like my books, my trainings. So hopefully, like the family trust can still
Totally.
be able to manage it. But um, when it comes to like leaving legacies and stuff like that, I just want to have my kids have the proper work ethic and mentality and all of that, because the thing is, I know obviously my kids are going to be brought up in a better situation than how I did
Totally.
in terms of financially. But you don't want to have rich and spoiled
Yep.
kids because they don't have the other, capabilities. They haven't gone through certain scenarios that could shape them and mold. Because
Totally.
I'm shaped and molded the way that I am because of what I came
Totally.
from.
Totally.
So I have to figure out ways to create diversity and situations that could make them be molded into a great person.
Totally.
So like giving them certain hardships or making them understand work ethic and the power of their mind, because they're gonna have all the tools and resources.
Totally.
By the time my son comes, you got ChatGPT now.
Totally.
Imagine what AI is gonna be by the time he turns 15.
Yep.
So I'm constantly gonna be on him like, hey, you're capable of making money. Let's get to it at
Totally.
a young age.
Totally.
Open and expand your thought process, create plans,
Yep.
all of that, and execute.
Totally. And with all that, this is just something a lot of people just don't talk about.
Yeah.
Doesn't really get asked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But just keep it a buck, keep it real. What is your biggest fear with everything that you've created, everything that you want to leave as your legacy to your kids?
Yeah.
What is kind of the biggest fear that you have that you overcome and reverse it into fuel to keep going?
It's funny you say that because I actually have a video that's coming out this week about fear. Because being afraid of certain things is bad, but being afraid of other things is good. And when I say that, I'm talking about not the fear of accomplishing something or the fear of starting something. For example, somebody might be afraid to cold call.
Totally.
They might be afraid of somebody telling them to F off.
Yeah.
Things like that. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid to take action. I'm not afraid to do any of that.
Totally.
What I am fearful of is losing everything. That's why I go as hard as I can, because I'm like, I don't want to go back to danger mode.
Yeah. Yeah, survival mode.
I don't want to go back to that where
Totally.
I was sleeping on my sister's couch and having to get a random job and doing DoorDash and dog walking. If I had to go back, I'm gonna be straight because I've already been through it.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm afraid of.
Gotcha.
Is going back to nothing.
Totally.
It isn't failure. It isn't, afraid to start.
Yeah.
Afraid of taking action and all this stuff. It's like, hey, you don't want to go back to that.
Totally. I mean, that's a good fear.
Mm-hmm.
Many entrepreneurs have it. Once you reach a certain point, you who's to say you can't lose it, right?
Exactly.
But
anybody can lose
exactly.
it.
And like personally, I'd like to talk about fitness and how it correlates with other aspects of life. And like we were talking about the other day, I lost 30 pounds and I lost it all. And you could grind, but you can lose it just as fast.
Oh my gosh.
Even faster. How has your faith in God influenced your approach to business, leadership, and particularly the times of challenge of the transitions?
Oh, everything. Because the thing is, like, I learned about like emotional intelligence. Like Jesus was he had the highest emotional intelligence. He always had people like basically trying him, disrespecting him, coming after him for his name and all of this stuff. But as I was reading in the scriptures, I'm seeing how he's handling things. So I've been becoming more wise just by simply reading the Bible, and I always like tell God to kind of act through me. So like if he's gonna put me on a position where other people are like learning from me, I want to make sure that he's the one who's guiding me. I don't want to put people in a situation where it's not driven by faith. So God has been everything. My belief is the sole reason. I always tell God, everything that I have is through you, and everything I have is because of you. It is not because of me.
Yeah.
Now, I would love for God to be a beacon of light and shine through me. I want him to make me the greatest version so I can help people become the greatest version. because I'm going to give him all the credit. I'm going to give people the recipe,
Yep.
which he is the chef. He
Yep.
created the cookbook. He's the recipe. He's
Totally.
the reason. Jesus is the reason, the light, the way, the truth. He's everything. So it's that's been the driving factor. That's like, it came back to the mindset. Once you understand that, you're gonna level up and hit a different level.
Totally.
Because when I was younger, I had confidence issues. When I was like up until 11th grade, I had confidence issues. I had braces. I was skinny. Man, I just didn't have any confidence.
Yeah.
Then you start getting strong. Okay, boom, braces come off. You start getting confident. It's the same thing with faith. You may not have those certain things, but once you start reading and developing the armor, your confidence is gonna grow, and you're just gonna. But you gotta constantly seek it.
Totally.
I tell Jesus, I need you of every moment of every second of every day. I need you, and I yearn for you. Like,
Totally.
I can't do it without you. But
Totally.
if you don't have that, you gotta get it ASAP.
Yep.
I'm telling you, you gotta get it ASAP.
No, I completely agree. I believe in God myself. I'm a believer. I have my faith. And in the times where I lose my faith or I question it, I always go backwards. But when I have God with me, I have the confidence. And that's one thing I do really admire about you is you do give all the glory to God in your videos, your YouTube videos, your podcasts, even on the team calls that we have. You know, you reference God quite a bit.
Absolutely.
So like we all know everybody who's in your community, anybody who watches your videos on YouTube, they know that is your guiding light, and your actions are your actions, but they're guided by God.
Exactly.
And you're living up to what God put all of us here on earth to do, and you're achieving that purpose as a true child of God. With that, how did you develop your faith or come into God? Is that something you grew up on? Were you going to church? Is that you just found Him through hard times or along the way?
Yeah, it's something that I grew up with. So my mom always took us to church. My grandfather was big on this. My grandparents, everybody on my mom's side, really big in it. Even on my dad's side, like we would go to church and stuff, but like really tapped in with learning about God and faith and all of that. I would say my grandfather. Okay. He's and my mother were ones to really open up my mind and learn that, because I used to I saw my grandfather preaching and stuff. I used to say like, hey, it might happen one day. I might be a pastor when I'm older. Yeah. But I've always been looking for that, and I would say my life changed when I fully committed to it, because the thing was, like, when you're in college, you're young, so a lot of the partying and all of that is going on.
The temptations.
And I told you, like, my real life started after that, like when I'm on my own. So I remember when I got my first apartment, living by myself, everything, I was like, you know what, I pray and I talk to God all the time. Yeah. But let me get on my knees and pray. Totally. So I started implementing that, and I saw the results. Yeah. And it wasn't just like, okay, get on your knees and recite certain scriptures. Totally. Like, no, I got on my knees and I prayed before I went to bed, and I just talked to God about things that I wanted to achieve, certain tangibles that I needed. Let's say I would pray for execution at the highest ability. Yeah. Then the results started coming. And not that the results should be the reason why you keep praying, but I saw the correlation between the hard work and faith. Yeah. It was undefeated. Yeah. So I'm like, this is the recipe. I can't steer away from it. Totally. I can't.
Just to go a little bit more in depth, what spiritual disciplines or principles do you rely on to stay grounded, to stay aligned with your purpose as you continue to grow?
Yeah. Well, I would say just you got to develop that personal relationship with God, because like I don't go to church. I don't go to church like every Sunday.
So you're spiritual, maybe not religious.
There is no label. I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a believer in Christ. I'm locked in with God. I know that He dwells inside of me. He shapes me. He's everything. So I just constantly communicate throughout the day. But also, and I made a video about this, about what you consume is what you produce. Yeah. So like, even when it comes to music, like, yes, I'll listen to occasional rap music, but to be honest, I'm listening to gospel music. Yeah. Like, when I'm on the treadmill working out, I'm listening to motivational stuff, sermons, So I want to consume, read the Bible every morning.
Yeah.
I want to consume that because
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna produce.
Totally.
So I kind of just make sure that I limit as much worldly stuff, which
Yeah.
is difficult,
It
you
is.
know, of
Yeah.
course. But no matter what acts we do on this earth, that's not going to guarantee us to
Totally.
heaven. So I just remember that.
Yeah. No, man, I love it. And then, I mean, you and I had this conversation
Mm-hmm.
yesterday how, I went through some stuff. Like 2024 was a really tough year for me, and I
Yeah.
was tested in every which way. And, I kind of opened up and let you know I lost my faith.
Yeah.
And it was in question up until
Mm-hmm.
probably a couple months back.
And it happens.
It happens, again, going to the fleshy things.
Yep.
It got the best of me,
Yeah.
but you can't control everything in life. We're human beings. We're going to fail. We're going to experience grief and losses and setbacks. So just kind
Exactly.
of with that, and, based on our conversation yesterday, what tool or what would you advise or suggest somebody who maybe is questioning their faith, or
Yeah.
maybe they don't know God and they
Yeah.
would like to know God? What would you tell them or suggest them to do to kind of get back or learn a little bit more about God in
Yeah.
Christ?
Well, the thing is, we can never understand God.
Totally.
He's not to be able to be understood. There's too much things that he's done that is just outside of our mind. So when certain things happen to us on earth, we have to understand that it's beyond our understanding.
Yeah.
And we talked about this. When you think of eternity, that's way longer than if you live to 80 years.
Totally.
Even if you live to 100 years, eternity is that times 100 times 100 times 100 times 100.
Yeah.
It's never going to end.
Yeah.
So, like, what happens on this earth, you just always have to understand that there's going to be things that you don't understand.
Yeah.
But what you should understand is that God is real and that he's alive. There's too much evidence
Totally.
that you can not think that he's real.
Yeah.
Like, look at the trees outside. Look
Yeah.
at the birds chirping. Look at all this. If you look at certain things like the number of vertebrae that we have, certain things that happen in our body. If I saw a post recently, and it showed like our eyes zoomed in, like all the different intricate details.
Yeah.
Like that's God.
Yeah,
Like this
yeah.
isn't no Big
Yeah,
Bang.
yeah.
Like, so if you know that,
Yeah.
you know that God is real.
Totally.
You gotta seek Him.
Okay.
You gotta seek Him.
So to take that first step, make that introduction, is it?
But people, so people don't, and this is the thing about our society right now, because I do see on social media, of course we're getting away from that. Like
Yeah.
before social media, it was like, okay, you're in your local town, you're going based off of the ideologies that are around you. But
Totally.
now we got social media, so there's influence everywhere.
Yep.
And majority of the influence isn't in the right direction.
Totally.
But that's put a label now where people think that like believing in God is corny, going to church and all of that. And I'm a testament for it. Like, I don't think you have to go to church.
Yeah.
You would have to, you should develop that relationship with God first, so that you're just, and they're like, well, how can I do that? Like,
Yeah.
or they start reading and they get bored.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is talk to him.
Totally.
That's it.
No.
Because he's in there. The
Yeah,
Holy Spirit
yeah.
is in there. He dwells in you. So like, just talk to him. Oh, what do I say? Talk.
Just
what do you
talk
want?
like you're talking to a friend.
Yeah.
You
What
know?
do you want?
Yeah.
Talk to yourself, and then you're gonna start realizing that not only are you like communicating with God, you're communicating with yourself. You're sharpening up your mindset.
Totally. No, and I completely agree. There's those moments where even when I'm questioning my faith and I'm doing my workout or I'm walking the dogs, and something inside me is just like, just talk.
Yeah.
Just talk to them. You don't have to ask for anything.
Yeah.
There is no right thing to say or wrong thing to say. It's you're having a conversation.
Exactly.
You're welcoming him into your life.
Yeah.
And just asking for him to guide you.
Exactly.
And take you towards the direction that he has for you. That leads you to the gates of heaven.
Exactly.
Just the last question to end it all. If there's one thing that you would want to tell your viewers, or a couple things, what would be the biggest thing that you would want to leave or say to your viewers to kind of find, whether it's find God, find success, what would you tell them?
Well, and I'll look at the camera and talk to you guys on this. Where everybody has the ability to be successful, all right? I look at it as everybody has the opportunity to enter into club success.
Totally.
But do you have that payment because it's going to cost you
Yeah.
to get in.
Yeah.
Payment is going to be hard work, dedication, consistency, sacrifice, mental fortitude. You have to be ready because once you shift yourself to know that I'm not going to run from the work, I'm going to be militant, I'm going to execute, I'm locked in with God, you can't lose.
Yep.
Then you're going to achieve success. Then once you have success, you got to keep it going because it
Yep.
never stops. It never stops. Like, I promise you, there's moments where I hit new levels and half a second I might be tired. I can't stay in that. I can't stay tired for too long. I gotta keep it going because, like we talked about, there's other people relying on you and stuff like that. So my best advice is, you get your currencies right, and it isn't always just money. Your currency can be your work ethic. Your currency can be your mindset. Your currency can be your consistency. If you get that together, you got money all the time. You got the currency. Your wallet is stacked up to the ceiling.
Yes, sir. No, and like they say, success is rented.
Yeah.
It's not bought,
rents due.
and rents due every day, and that's actions. That's just doing what you need to do on a daily basis.
Exactly.
To do what you call it, MMA.
MEA, money earning activities.
Yeah, doing money earning activities every day, paying your dues to be able to sit at the table, to get into those rooms with those people we all look up to and listen to. So, this has been a great conversation.
It's been great.
I appreciate you flying out, teaching me the systems, sharing your story, your journey, and your insights on business, mindset, and faith. I know a lot of people are going to take a lot from this interview. That's why I wanted to do it, get to know you.
It's great.
So I appreciate you coming out today, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.